everything looks great.
Right. So
You
you're just
know,
marveling.
I'm just marveling at
Marveling at
everything.
everything.
But I didn't know that Fortnite was that good.
Hmm?
It has.
Fortnite's a
It's not the
fun.
same game.
It's 1,000% not. It's been what, 10 years? You know what I'm saying? Like
It's
seven,
not the
six, 7
same
years.
game.
It's been
It's
years,
not
and
the
they've
same game.
that game is drastically different from
Oh,
either
I got
one.
that.
Like,
Got that 8-bit closed fist notification.
it's just how good it is.
Yeah, man. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Squid Game, Saw, murder mysteries,
Everybody.
racing games, Counter
All
Strike.
types of stuff. Yep. Oh, did you? Okay, okay. Did you play the new thing, the little first-person shooter version thing?
Yes, Ballistic. It's Counter Strike. It's
Yeah.
Counter Strike. It's wonderful. It's
Wow.
wonderful. It's wonderful. I ended up playing. There was some little kids on there, and I had to tell one kid to watch his mouth. But other than that, man, the only thing that I don't like about playing Fortnite and streaming it specifically is you gonna get demonetized. There's no way to stream it without getting because everybody. But I bought. Look, I look. Immediately, I bought like $20 worth of V Bucks. So I was like, no, I'm in here. I'm in
What you
here.
get?
Like, I got V skin. They have female V in there, so that
Yep.
was dope. And then I got a little emote to go along with it. And I think I bought the battle pass too because it just makes sense. Like you can it just
Look,
yeah.
man, Fortnite. I know. I know a lot of people that colorful graphics or kid game. I guess whatever. Say what you want. The fact that that is a free ass game
Mm-hmm.
and it has given people content, so much like gameplay, so much fun times that you can be experienced with people for years.
Yeah.
Yes, they have emotes and you could buy, you do what you want. That's cool. If you spend $100 on Fortnite, you know what I'm saying? People have been playing it for years, tons of freaking stuff,
Yeah.
tons of going on. We just talked about another game you played, Marvel Midnight Suns. You got about 200, I think you said 64 hours of that.
Yeah.
Imagine Fortnite. People have thousands of hours in that. And
Yeah.
I don't even know if you bought Midnight Suns at like full price, but like,
I got it for free whenever it was free during the Epics. The Epic store
you
had
know
it
what
for
I'm
free.
saying?
I feel bad. I feel like I've stolen something because of
100%.
that game. I feel like I stole something. Yeah, I wish I could have the experience. I know this sounds weird as hell, but like there's something good about like spending your money on something and then like being happy with your purchase. I would have been happy with my purchase with Marvel's Midnight Suns. Like
100%.
it's one of the best games I've ever, it's up there. You got Detroit Become Human, you got Mass Effect series, and you got Marvel's Midnight Suns. It's
Mm-hmm.
up there. It's
Mm-hmm.
up there. And it didn't do what
I
and
will
I just know
say,
it's because gamers don't want to be better at playing video games. They don't want to come out of their safe space that they call a comfort zone. That's exactly what it is.
in this episode, everybody, we want to teach people how to do that. I don't even say teach people. We just want to give some tips, some ideas, start a little conversation. I
Yeah.
want people to go into gaming in 2025 with a wider eye, with a bigger heart, with a little bit more fun. Get your money's worth. The world is crazy. I think video games should be that good little outlet for you to enjoy yourself a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. With everything happening in the world, like, and it's just nice when you find, and I think that's what it is. It's kind of like, I know that for me, sometimes I'll find one food and I'll like hyper focus on that food and I'll eat it for like 3 months straight. And for
Unfortunately,
those
yeah.
3 months or 2 weeks or whatever, for however long it is, like I forget about the problems in the world for just a little bit because I know I can look forward to that. I don't know. Last month it was chimichangas. I don't know what it was, but I was just on some chimichangas, bro. I was like,
Okay.
really every day,
Because you
like
just
it's
finished
every
Midnight
day.
Suns.
And yeah, for sure. Until I hated it. But like when you
Facts.
can
That's
find
me and
that
macaroni and
game,
fries.
when you can find that game that like you just look forward to, like with Marvel's Midnight Suns, like I found myself thinking about it outside of it. Like I can't wait to build this deck. I wonder what would happen with this. And like you need that in the world we live in now. Because news is coming. We have 10-year news cycles in 2 days.
Honestly, no. This beginning of the start of this year.
5 days, bro. 5 days. 2 terrorist attacks, 4 plane crashes. What?
Yeah, it's insane. But that's what you just mentioned is one of the main, my main ways of figuring out whether or not I like it. Like I really like a game. Like obviously when I'm playing a game, I know I like it. But how I know I'm loving a game and I'm having a really good time is when I turn that game off and I think about it. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, let me go see I wonder what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Next,
Yeah.
or like, just my brain out of nowhere just goes back to
Mm-hmm.
it just randomly. You know, I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
I need to go back and play that game. That's how
Right.
I know at my big age like that. I really, 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 really like a game,
Yeah. When we
and
were
I want y'all to
younger,
get back to that. So,
and when we were younger, like one of the things is like we didn't have nothing else to think about. You know, we wouldn't have really other worries other than that and homework. So like finding it
yes,
as a kid, it made more sense. You had more time to think about it. But like when it breaks through all the stuff we have to do, some of us have kids, full-time jobs, family, relationships, and
yeah,
if you can find a game that will break through all of that, that you will still think about, like that's something valuable. You
that's
know, like
facts.
it brings value to your life. So yeah, I'm really excited to talk about how to be a better gamer because I'm experiencing it now, and I'm really excited.
Josh App says, I'd love to tackle my backlog of games. I went through a period of buying new games, hoping it would
Yep,
motivate me to play something, but I kept dropping them. We got to talk about that
we got to
backlog.
talk about
We
that for
will
real.
mention the
Yeah, we'll
backlog.
bring. Thank you, Josh, for sure. Because there's a way to
that,
get through it. There's a way to get
yes,
through it.
we got to tackle the backlog. Yes, so gaming in 2024, I had a good time. All right, I had a great time. Even to be honest with you, I enjoyed my gaming experience. But I know there's a lot of people that do still feel like they're not enjoying games, or games aren't really, where it is that where they want to be, and we want to figure out some ways to kind of navigate that so that you can have fun with games again, so that you can be a better gamer, period. All right, how can you be a better gamer in 2025? All right, if you got any comments, if you saying, you drop them in the Twitch, drop them in the YouTube at a big closed fist or the Mindful Gamer, drop them in there. We talking. I just got a motherfucking, I'm gonna get this goddamn food. Talk to
So yeah, I've just been left here by myself by my co-host. But yeah, if you have any questions, any thoughts, what gaming problems do you have? What gaming issues can we discuss with you? But yeah, this year I'm gonna talk about how to be a better gamer. What are you eating, bro? What do you got to eat? I was talking to the people, but I saw that plate. He can't hear me. I saw that plate. My guy got a plate. He brought in a whole plate.
yeah. We're not doing this.
He brought in a whole plate.
Yeah. We're not dropping it off at the kitchen. We're not doing none of that. We're gonna put it right to my side. I
Yeah,
won't
no.
there, I promise.
Hey, what you got though? Just curious. Before we jump into our conversation, I was just wondering what you eat. What you eating though?
Here in Los Angeles, California, there's this place called Mr. Fries Man.
Ooh.
And he creates all these types of different fries. I'm talking my personal favorite, shrimp, honey shrimp,
Ooh.
steak fries. You got the chili cheese fries. You got all these different things. I went with the quick chili cheese fries.
Okay.
I've been, like you just said earlier, there's that time where you get food and you keep eating the food, and
Yeah.
that was me with this honey shrimp and steak fries. At least a month. At least a month. But I'm trying to start the new year off different. But my body still said, you got to order these fries. So I tricked my body by ordering fries, but it's not going to be those fries. Because we're starting the new year off with new health.
Yeah, we're trying to be healthy this year. Yeah, that sounds good. Look, I ain't worried about it. I'm gonna eat what I want to eat, man. I ain't worried about it. I'm gonna eat what I want to eat. It's too 4 plane crashes in 5 days. Nah, I'm gonna eat what I want to eat.
Facts. And we're gonna play what we want to play.
Yes.
What have you been playing? Starting off this new year, starting from January 1st, January 5th. What have you been playing?
So if you come to my Twitch at Derek the Mindful Gamer, we also learned how to do self-promotion this year. I have been playing 3 main games specifically. The first game is called Solstice. And so this is a Devil May Cry Bayonetta love letter with Resident Evil camera angles. And it's about these 2 sisters. And as you know, like in all these kind of dark fantasy settings, something invaded their world. One of the sisters is dead. She exists as a ghost on her sister's back, and then the other girl is a chimera, and so she's imbued with this like dark energy. And when I tell you, every single move in the game is cancelable. So you have your regular attacks, Y, then space, take your time, and then you have several different weapons, but you can cancel any move into the other move, and just the music is great. The combat is fluid, and what it does differently is it adds in all of these like side things that you have to do while you're playing. So your parry is taken care of by your ghost sister on your back, and so the enemies will flash the B button and you have to press B while you're being circled, and that's how you cancel. It's kind of on a timer. But then
Yeah.
also the sister has two fields. One of them is blue and one of them is red. And of course, you can only destroy some enemies in the blue field, some enemies in the red field. So you're constantly switching between the red and the
That's
blue.
kind of
You're
fire.
looking
Okay.
out for times to parry, and like the story is really fun, but like the combat it's really amazing, and it's gradually ramping up. I'm a little bit upset because Elden Ring has sort of ruined me. I have this on the hardest difficulty available to me
Yeah.
right now, and like the only time I really do die in the game is when it's like they introduce something new and I need to figure it out, which makes sense. I've never seen it before, but I've been playing that on stream pretty consistently. So that's the first one. The second game that I'm playing is Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt, which is kind
Okay.
of like it's kind of like a battle
Like a battle
royale, but it's
royale.
with
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a battle royale with the
Uh-huh.
vampires. I find that really fun. I'm so glad Tekken 8. I'll say that one later.
Mm-hmm.
Tekken
Mm-hmm.
8.
Mm-hmm.
I it I think about it. I think about it
Yeah.
outside, but let's leave that alone.
Yeah.
So
Where,
that one, go ahead.
where we last left off the last stream, which I think was like December 20th or something like that. I remember that was you saying you're going to be getting Tekken 8. You
Yeah,
guys have
yeah,
tapped in with our
yeah.
streams. You've been watching our streams. Um, our post show, we talked about some games and stuff, and you mentioned Tekken 8 and how you was going to be getting Tekken 8, and has come to fruition. You've been playing the
Yeah,
shit out of Tekken 8. I
I
will say,
have. I
we will
have.
talk about
I have, I
it.
have, I have. We'll save that one. I got back into Baldur's Gate 3. That Trials of Shar had like really made me just like I was done with it. So I got back into Baldur's Gate 3, and like again, I'm captivated instantly. Like, why did I ever stop? And then the last, well, second to last, Fortnite. I have been playing so much Fortnite. I
Mhm.
didn't know it had changed so much.
Yes,
I was
okay.
playing Squid Game. I
Yep.
played Saw. I played Counter Strike. I played a murder mystery, figure out which one of us is the killer. Like it's
Yeah.
and it's hours I've sunk into this. So for me this year, gaming has been great. I'm so glad I found it. I think this new RTX 4070 with this,
Boy,
165
I bet.
hertz of refresh rate. I think
Vroom,
that's
vroom.
helping out. Laptop go boom. I think that's helping out a little bit, but it's been a great time for gaming.
I bet. I bet. BJ Williams said he did not game regularly for at least 15 years. Now, at his big age, he feels overwhelmed at the sheer volume of games there are now. Instead of playing newer games, you go back to 2005 classics. All right. We're going to
Hey,
mention all of that as we dive deeper into the discussion of how to be a better gaming in 2025.
yeah.
Um, I think I'm going to start off first, just coming right off of what you were just describing in these games that you were playing. You're wide eyed, right? I'm going to throw a tip in there that can help out a little bit. Is spruce it up a little bit. That's going to be my first tip. We're starting off easy, we're starting off simple. Spruce it up a little bit. I know not everyone has the extra cash to buy a goddamn 47. We're not saying that necessarily. But spruce up the technology you got a little bit. Maybe get a new controller. If you know what I'm saying, if you're in
Yeah.
the soft stages of becoming a better gamer or getting into gaming again, maybe just buy a new little, maybe buy a new disc of a game. Don't download anything. Maybe go buy a physical disc for a game. Look at the cover art, look at the back. Maybe buy a controller. You know what I'm saying? Maybe get a new pillow that you know what I'm saying, a new blanket, like something like that to romanticize gaming again. I think that could be very helpful.
Yeah, that's a wonderful idea. Like I actually, they gon' sponsor us soon one
Talk
day.
to it.
But I got me a Game Sir
Oh
controller.
yeah.
I've been hearing about them on TikTok. I got these paddles in the back. I haven't figured out how to program yet. But just something about having a new controller, like even one that you like. I feel like it's so easy for us to just take what we get. Oh, it's just a controller.
Yeah.
It's just the input that you're using. But like it is the device that is transmitting your will to the game that you're
Yeah.
playing. So
Yeah.
get one that you like. Maybe get some vinyls for it to cover it up. Maybe get some new buttons and new thumb pads.
Exactly, right? We don't have to, we can go from, as expensive as brand new hardware, but we can go as cheap as buying not you can go as free, right? You can just clean everything off, baby, right? Clean your
Dust it
screen.
out. Yeah, yeah.
Clean your controller, clean your gaming area, right? put your snacks at a certain corner, wipe the crumbs off of previous snacks. You know what I'm saying? Clean the cup holder. You know what I'm saying? Mark that you left on your table. Do that type of shit just
Yeah,
to kind
for
of
sure.
bring it back in. I think
Create
that's
you a
pretty
gaming
smart.
space. Create a space for yourself to enjoy your games in, like create that vibe so that when you get in there, kind of like a pause screen for your life. Like,
Yeah.
I think video gaming, I think a lot of the reason is because society kind of looks at it so negatively. And then there's a lot of feeling of guilt and shame about being a gamer. And so I think if you can take the time to create a space for yourself to really enjoy your gaming in, I think that will help a lot too. Maybe
Hmm.
get your favorite beverage that you like to get, maybe light a candle with a certain smell that you might enjoy, maybe your headset, get a nice headset, but something where you really get back into that place like when we were kids, like all that
Yes.
was our responsibility. That was our
Yes.
responsibility. Yeah, that was our
Yes.
responsibility.
And it was, and we romanticized it then, right? We sat down, we got our crisscross applesauce in front of the TV. You know what I'm saying? We put our snacks to the side. You know what I'm saying? Like turned off the
Yeah.
lights or got under the cover for our Game Boy. We looked at the disc. You know what I'm saying? We opened the book up. We looked at the book. We was figuring out what was
Yeah.
going on.
That ride on the ride home, like looking
Right.
through,
Yeah.
reading through the
I can't
manual
wait to
was
turn
it.
it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of
Yeah.
that. We smelt it a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
I
Smelt
did.
things.
Each game had that new game smell.
It did. It did. And we smelt it, right? And we did, okay? And it felt great. And then we finally got to loading it up, right?
Yeah.
All of that pregame, it was great, right? It
Yeah.
really added to the experience that we really,
Hmm.
really underestimate now. Because
Yeah,
now we
for
just
sure.
click download, walk away somewhere, and then like flop on the couch and like hopefully hit play.
Hopefully have enough time to play through. I remember used to caring about the story. Like, I mean, I think even that has been lost. Like remembering what the lore is. That's what I've been doing in that new game Solstice. Like before I
Mm,
started up my live stream, I said, "Hey y'all, let me take you through the lore. Let me tell you what this game is about, what our motivations are, why we
yeah.
doing what it is that we're doing." Because the truth is, there's only so many gameplay mechanics that you can have. Like, there's only so much that you can do. It's about how you use those gameplay mechanics and story, the story really, to tell a more unique story. So yeah, I think a lot of that has been lost in our older age, and it doesn't need to be.
I think that's another good one, right? I think that's a tip in itself, right? Getting
Right.
a game or even one that you've been playing or one that you did play and recognizing the lore, recognizing the
Mm-hmm.
world, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know we've had our discussions. I know we talked. There's been a lingering friction between us because of how I go about certain single player games. Okay.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
there's been topic, there's been conversations of brewing. Okay. All right. I will admit I don't be watching cutscenes. All right, I be skipping dialogue. I don't be watching cutscenes. I'll be turning away. If it's a forced cutscene, I'll pick up my goddamn phone. You know what I'm saying? Now it's time for me to go grab some food. I'm talking while they're talking. I'm not paying attention to none of that shit. All right,
Yeah.
none of it. Baldur's Gate 3 made me do it. I did it. Okay, I was paying attention. I understand what's going on. Most games I'm not locked in for sure. All right, I know. Skipping cutscenes is crazy. I get
It
it.
is
I get
crazy
it. I
in
get it.
2025. It's crazy.
I'm dialing it back. Okay, I'm dialing it back. All right, I was playing. Wasn't well, obviously Metaphor Fantasio. I'm locked in for all of the lore, all of the world building, everything that's going on. Um, I was forcing myself to sit through Dragon Age Velgar stuff, but like I said, nah, I don't want to start with this.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it with this. But um, while I'm playing, even Path of Exile 2 a little bit, even though I know that's like a simpler, like it's not really nothing going on, still kind of getting with the world, kind of trying to lock myself in it, get real immersed. That has helped. It's helped. It helps me like actually do that thing where I'm like thinking about the game, thinking about what's going on with the game, and not just like waiting for my next, colors and dopamine hit to go through.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it really does help get into flow state. And I think that this will probably be a conversation for another day when we talk about gaming mechanics and games. I think the era of the taking away the control from the player cutscene, I think we're probably past that. I think interactive cutscenes would be really good, something where, you're still maintain an ability to control, or even Far Cry 5 did that really well, where like whenever you would talk with a character, there weren't cutscenes. If you walked away, the character would say, "Where the hell are you going?"
Yeah,
Like,
which
and
is
so
fine.
that
I
that,
love
that
that.
was really sick. That it
Yeah,
actually brought me back into it. I was like, "Oh, my
yeah.
bad. I'm sorry about that.
Because it
Sorry,
left
you're
you
right.
wondering.
Yeah, sorry about that." But
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
even to add another layer to it, for example, in Mass Effect, besides the amazing codex, the amazing cutscenes and dialogue that you don't want to miss, like there are books out about that game. And like that's another way to keep yourself involved. It's like investigate what other forms of ways that this game shows up in media. Bayonetta has an entire anime that I got to watch an
Mhm.
episode of, and it was so fire. So I think, and then that new show on Amazon, Secret Level, where they have the
Oh yeah.
different video game shows and things like that, like little anthologies.
Hmm.
I really think that that would be a really good way. But getting back into the story, like why, what's the motivation behind it? I think again, because we're all so busy, we kind of feel like we don't have the time. You feel like you're not playing the game if you're watching the cutscenes or paying
Right.
attention to the story.
Yeah.
But you really get, where else is the motivation going to come from? Like why am I playing it? What information can I get from it? How can I have an enjoyable experience? And I think that paying attention to the lore and the story, and empathizing with those characters is a really good way to get back into it as well.
You mentioned time a lot, and that's obviously one of the biggest issues, like with like finding a way to game. Finding the time is something that obviously I think if a lot of people could do it, they just would, right?
Yeah.
But I do think there is some power in like at least understanding that time is the issue and like trying to find a way to maximize your time. I don't really have any tips for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's some life shit you're gonna have to figure out. Like I don't really know what to tell you. However, I can say that I think it's a really good idea to take gaming vacations. All right. I am 100% for people um taking time off from work when you know a good, not just a day of or anything like that. I mean like 3, 4 days, as much as you can, right? Take some days off from work specifically to play video games. And I would suggest if you're playing with friends, let's say you're getting your Call of Duties, your 2K in, synchronize your days off. Synchronize your time together, and y'all go on a bro gaming vacation day where like none of y'all got to worry about waking up early in the morning. You know what I'm saying? None of y'all got to worry about going to work the next day, and y'all just go crazy in gaming. I think that's a fucking great idea. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like I think that would be fun.
It's your time
That's what I
off.
say people should try.
Yeah. I would say, and this is probably going to hurt a little bit, but like one of the biggest, and I learned this from taking a financial literacy class because I wasn't good with money. One of the biggest things about time is we waste a lot of it. People have a lot more time than they think they do. They really do. And if you are not living your life in a schedule, and this is, if you don't have a schedule, then you're just wasting it. And I often say, like, I remember somebody on TikTok one time was complaining that they didn't have enough time. Like, if you have time for TikTok, you got time for something else. You really do.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
think that's a lot of it. It's so easy. Like social media, it's become so built into our lives, so ubiquitous for us to check our feeds and get stuck in algorithms and looking at reels, that like you
Yeah.
don't realize that that adds up. Like check your screen time report. That's how much time you had to play video games,
Yeah.
and like it really does suck to hear, but it's the truth. And so I would say, like, schedule it. Make sure you have a schedule in your life. Now the other side of this is that part of the problem is that every single video game thinks it needs to be a 20, 40, 60 hour experience. It doesn't. So I would say find games that are not that long. A Way Out is a really good example. Return to Grace was really good. Roguelikes are really good for this
Yeah.
because you can
Yeah.
drop in and drop out, things like that. But like it's hard to maintain that motivation to play a game when you know that like it's going to take me 15, 20 minutes just to get to a part where I'm experiencing any gameplay. So I would say, even like looking at your games and your backlog, we'll go into a little bit more, but look at your backlog, see how long it takes to beat certain games and divide them up. And then on the days you have more time, maybe play one of those games like that. But I can imagine that you would get really burnt out trying to sit down to play a game. You only have 30, 45 minutes, and you're trying to play Dragon Age Veilguard, or you're trying to play something where, you don't really have enough time to do that. So I would say scheduling your time is really important. If you don't have a schedule in your life, you need to have one, because that just means you have a schedule that you don't have written
Yeah,
down,
that you know is happening. Yeah.
that you don't know how it's happening. But we have more time than what we think we do, holding space for people with kids and things like that. But at the same time, we have more time, and I think your screen time report is a good place to start to see where some of that time might be going.
It makes sense if you think about it too, right? Like all those tens, 15s of minutes that we
Hmm.
spend like just kind of stuck in a loop of, you know what I'm saying, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, email, TikTok, a text message, Instagram, Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like that little 15-minute loop,
Hmm.
or that we go into like 4, 5 times a day, right?
Yeah.
That's an hour of
Multiple
gaming.
hours, multiple
Right.
hours.
Right. 100%. 1000% the doom scrolls, man. The doom scrolls are a problem.
For
And with
sure.
that being said, the freaking backlog.
Yeah.
Look through your backlog, right? Look through some games, game choice, right? Look through your backlog, figure out some smaller games. I think that's a crazy big point, right? Um, Either finishing some games that you've already played, right? Or that you're already playing, or finding some small games to really help maximize that time and get that sense of completion will
Hmm.
definitely help with that motivation,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Like I am a habitual non-finisher for video games, um, but I'm okay with it. I don't finish video games because I just want to play it. There's a ton of video games I want to play constantly. So I just want to get in there and just like try shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like a sampler plate. You know, some people who like go to a restaurant and they just get the sampler plate. You know what I'm saying? Like they know what they want, but they just want the sampler plate. That's me. So figuring out some games. So I don't need that system of completion to keep me going because the intrigue and curiosity of games, period, keep me going. But I understand that like completing a game and like reaching those end credits, receiving that whatever that platinum trophy or whatever is momentum for a lot of people. Not finishing a
Hmm.
games could like make a lot of people like say, you know, what I'm wasting my time.
Right. Right. I would say, yeah, with that backlog, one thing that will help is if you take some time. And again, we're always moving so fast. The first tip is just to slow down just a minute, just like stop and think and be mindful about what it is you're doing. Like, I'm about to play a video game. Okay, why am I playing this video game? What experience do I want to have? Do I want to be told a story? Do I want to just beat up on people for a while? Do I want to explore? Do I want to play a game with really good music? And then take a look at your backlog and ask yourself, why was I excited to buy this? And this will help you in two fronts. One, it'll help you decide if you want to play the game. And two, it'll help you in the future so you don't make decisions out of an emotional state in that you did last time. Because a lot
Wow.
of the times we buy video games because we're just caught. Like, if you can get caught up in the hype, if someone can get you in the hype, then you're there. And that's why I'm so thankful for Xbox Game Pass, because like there's so many things that I would have been hyped up to get, and I'm just so thankful I didn't get that because I wasn't
Yeah.
in the hype. But ask yourself, like, why did I buy this game? What was I excited about? And then at what point did I stop? At when did I stop playing the game? What about it was difficult? I just had this experience with Baldur's Gate 3. Like, I stopped playing because I got to a point that was difficult. And the solution is so easy when you're not upset or
Yeah.
frustrated or
Yeah.
wherever you're at. The
Trying
solution
to get
was
to the finish. Yeah.
Absolutely. The solution was ask for help. Google, how do I get past this point? Like, I
Yeah.
wish I would have done that 3 months ago,
Yeah.
and I would still be enjoying. And another, I think this is part of it as well, with our backlogs. Why do we stop playing the games in our backlogs? Sometimes you just need to swallow your pride and your ego and lower the difficulty setting.
Yeah.
Just lower it. Just
Yeah.
lower it so that you can get past
Yeah. Yeah.
and enjoy the game.
I don't know
Just lower
how
it.
that experience that I don't know how that became a goddamn gaming sin.
Yeah.
No one knows or cares. Like no one
Yeah.
gives a shit
Mhm.
if you finished or didn't finish this game 100% on whatever difficulty. No one
Mhm.
cares. No one's checking your trophies. We
Right.
absolutely don't care. Enjoy the game. Get better. Go back. Do it again and on challenging. Whatever. But
Mhm.
like this is literally stopping you from completing this game right now. And I know people that do this consistently. They bite off more than they can chew, especially in like RPGs and like
Hmm.
certain boss battles where it's like you're not really supposed to beat this character with what you got going on right now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you can't. You can sometimes, I get it, but you can't always just will your way into. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like,
You don't have to fight the tree sentinel.
you know what I mean? That's 100% what I was thinking about. Like, you don't got to. I literally know people, and I'm not. I literally know people who stopped playing the game because they couldn't beat the tree sentinel upon entering.
Really?
Like 4 people, like actually,
At the very beginning of the game?
they couldn't beat the tree sentinel, and they said, "If this is what the game is, I don't even want to continue." Right? I'm like, it's not. I mean, it is, but it's not.
Yeah, you haven't even played it to learn the skills necessary to even know how to go up. And then that feeling of accomplishment. I remember that on my new game plus run, when I came back in and bodied the tree
Right?
sentinel, bodied him. Like I'm the tarnished bitch,
Yeah,
you
you know what I'm
know?
saying? This is my game. You know what I'm saying? I'm the chosen
Yeah.
one. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like, lower that difficulty. No, this isn't
Yeah.
some. You know what I mean? We're okay. You'll be fine.
And the
Um,
difficulty settings, like it's arbitrary anyway. Like it's not it doesn't tell you about who you are as a person. It doesn't mean you're better. Just because you play on a higher difficulty doesn't mean you're a better gamer than someone that plays on a lower difficulty.
Thanks.
If you think about the difficulty setting as less about how hard the game is and more about what level does the game need to be at so that you can be immersed in it and enjoy it? Like at
Yes.
what level? And if it's too hard, lower it. If it's too easy, raise it. But the difficulty setting should be set in such a way that you forget about the difficulty setting in the first place. Like you should
Yeah.
forget that the game even has one. And there's no way, like normal, whatever is normal, that has to be play tested against a variety of different
Right.
people. It might need normal for you, might be easy. I know normal for me now is I don't is one level above whatever is already there because I've played games like Elden Ring. I can
Mhm.
see the patterns now. It becomes extremely obvious to me,
Right.
those things. So I do need the enemies to hit a little bit harder. I do need to have
To be
less
punished.
less. I need less of that timing window, things like that. So that's another. I think that's a really good point. Like just lower the difficulty so you can enjoy the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Because also, why are you playing the game? Sometimes we're not playing the game for a sense of accomplishment. Sometimes we're playing a game for the story. Like we really
Yep,
want to figure out what happens at the next of the story. And if you reach a point where, like, for whatever reason, you're being like, held back from that, then what I'm saying, you're defeating the purpose of why you're playing that game. Which goes back to your
absolutely.
another point on, and I feel like, I don't know if you have, but you being the mindful gamer, I think it would be great for you to do a sermon for this for your Church of New Game Plus, just called "How to Be a Mindful Gamer." You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
to begin with, I'm pretty sure you have it somewhere, but like
Mm-hmm.
understanding how to even be mindful gamer. The point that you brought up of like, why did you buy these games? Why did you stop playing these games? I think everybody should do that. Everybody
Yeah.
should go back and look at why you bought the game and why you played the game. A lot of people, I know so many people that say people are tired of being disappointed in games. And I get it. There's a lot of games that can lead to disappointment, right? I've been disappointed in Payday 3. I thought it was gonna be a good game. It wasn't. It was I was very upset that I spent my money on that game. However, some of you guys are just making bad decisions. You
Yep.
don't like hard shooters, cooperative games. Why are you buying Helldivers 2? Right? Like, I'm not saying you
Right.
have to box yourself out, but like, you don't like fighting games. You never have. You don't like fighting games. You never did. Just because we're all playing Tekken doesn't mean you have to play Tekken. You know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't going to magically make you like fighting games now if you don't like fighting games. What do you say about someone that just wants to like be mindful in gaming and like understand what's going on and not kind of getting caught up in hype and the dopamine and everything like that?
Yeah, I think it's difficult because we live in this world where, as someone who has done marketing before and does it now, like the main marketing thing now is to just tap into people's fears and insecurities. And one of the biggest fears that people have is that they're missing something. They're missing out on something. If I don't get Tekken 8, I'm missing out on a wonderful fighting experience. If I don't get Dragon, I don't have Dragon Age the Veilguard. If
Right.
I don't get Dragon, and now the game dropped 50%. So if I do get it, I'm getting
Right.
it at a steep discount. But if I
It's a
don't
lot more
get this
enjoyable.
now, it's probably going to be a lot more enjoyable if I don't pay all that money for it. Like, but if I don't get this now, if I don't do this now, and what happens is you end up being guided. Your decision making is not your own. You don't have free will. You are simply being influenced by an algorithm. And the state of mind that you're in when you buy that game is not the same state of mind that you're in when you're playing it. And because of that disconnect, that mismatch, that cognitive dissonance, it makes it difficult for you want to keep going. So if you want to be mindful about gaming, again, the first thing is I would say, and I do this, and that's why it took me so long to buy Tekken 8. If you remember, I've been talking about it for the better part of the last part of 2024. But before I buy a game, I say, okay, I want this game, and I immediately wait a week. I wait a week. And then before I add it in the cart, I take a deep breath and I ask myself, is this a game that I'm going to play? Do I want to play it? The thing that tipped me over the edge with Tekken 8, though, was whenever I saw the AI battle system and I saw the way that it helped you in practice mode. And I was like, well, the game's doing 50% of the work for me. All I got to do is the other 50%. Yeah. And just the demo that it had, I played the demo and I was like, I can see how this would be fire if I understood what was going on. Yes. So I think a lot of it is, and I don't even know how to describe it, but like in the world that we live in currently, like people thought the Matrix, you were going to have to be jacked into it. I don't think you need, it's all around us. It's all around us. It's everywhere. And like sometimes you have to honestly stop and say, oh my God, I am a human being with free will that can make choices and like make decisions from there, you know? So yeah, it's a little bit of self-control. Someone said in the chat, so you have self-control, but like, I don't want to like blame people. Like it's not that. These marketing forces and psychology that they're using to influence you are it's scary strong. It's devilishly strong. Like you would have to have the strength of will of 1,000 people to be able to resist the way that we are marketed to on a daily basis. So it's hard. So it takes little reminders like this. But I would just say slow down, just stop for just a moment, pause the game that is your life and ask yourself, why am I making this decision?
Yeah. And again, even the fear of missing out. And no matter how much self-control you have, I don't know, maybe there's some super person out there somewhere, but like we have fallen victim to something. You know what I'm saying? Like in America under capitalism, we have fallen victim to something.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like anything. When it comes to how much they market to us. I'm going to again double down on this because I really do think this is an important point in how to be a better gamer and how to enjoy gaming in 2025. Make sure y'all follow the Mindful Gamer for more tips about that, and make sure y'all follow me. Actually, probably going to do a full video about this specifically on YouTube at 8-Bit Close Fist. You can't fall for the hype, guys.
Yeah.
I know we're talking about, I want to quadruple down on this. Please understand the type of games that you like and why you like them. Right. I mentioned before that people were buying games like Helldivers or Elden Ring specifically because of the hype and then not enjoying them. The opposite has also been true, where like people, I've peer pressured people into getting a video game. Like our group has peer pressured people into getting a game that they swore they wouldn't like, right? I've had one friend who didn't like Monster Hunter, but we all had Monster Hunter, and we was like, we finna be playing Monster Hunter for the next month. You know what I'm saying? So like, either you get it, you know what I mean, like, or whatever. And he was like, I really don't like Monster Hunter. I was like, okay, don't get it. You know what I'm saying? 2 weeks, 3 weeks in, you know what I'm saying? He got Monster Hunter. He was like, yo, I fucking love this game, right? And he's been playing every installment since, like, way after we get off. And that's cool. That's great. But in my head, right, you know what I'm saying? And try and bring me back from this. But like, in my head, I'm like, that shows that you don't know what the fuck you're talking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was upset. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, good job.
Yeah.
You got the game. And I'm like, see, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you need to figure out, you know what I'm saying, what's going on.
Right.
Why did you say you didn't like Monster Hunter? You know what I'm saying? Like, where'd you even get that from? You know what I mean? Like, and there is an answer somewhere in there, right? Like, you may not figure out immediately, but like, maybe you didn't like the slow combat, and then you found another weapon and you played that. Maybe you didn't like playing by yourself. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, like you didn't get far enough to reach the hook of the game. Like, there's lots of reasons that I feel like if gamers just understood what they liked, not everything with a gun is Call of Duty, you know what I'm saying, like, and not everything where you run is Uncharted, and not every platformer is Mario. Like, there are differences within these games that can cater to different people, but you have to know what you like and what you don't like in games.
And you have to be able to step outside of your comfort zone. I think that's the point. And it speaks to what I was talking about earlier, where it's like gamers don't get convinced to play different games unless it's marketed to them in the way that they are accustomed to. Unless you are a big company that's spending $200 million on an advertising budget to tell you why you should like this game, we don't even take the stuff that our friends will tell us about video games seriously. And like they should know they've actually played the game. And I don't want to be, I don't want to call myself in here. I used to be like that. Like there's so many games that I just did not want to touch because I looked at it and I said, "Oh, that's a card battle game." I actually got in trouble with the entirety of the Baldur's Gate 3 community. Like I went to Comic-Con and there were people walking up to me telling me, no, at PAX, yo, it's Comic-Con. They came up to me, hey man, we saw your TikTok.
By the way,
glad you came around,
right.
you know. But like
just about to start, young.
I would be so upset if I died and looked over the history of my life and realized I didn't get a chance to play Baldur's Gate 3 simply because my first reaction was I don't like the combat system. I saw there's a guy, iGame You Watch, wonderful creator. He makes wonderful content. He gives the game 1 hour and plays it and goes from there. And he played Baldur's Gate 3 and he said, yeah, no, this isn't for me. This combat is busted, which is fine. You're allowed to do that. But what I truly think it is gamers don't like feeling like they don't know how to do something. We have so much of our ego that is into like I'm a gamer, and it has to be right in society. I'm a gamer is something that's important to us, but we don't want to sit down and do what we need to do and do what it takes to learn a new system. And like in doing so, it opens you up to a variety of new games. Marvel's Midnight Suns, which I think is going to be the patron saint of this conversation, counterplay conversations. Marvel's Midnight Suns is one of the best Marvel games, one of the best games I've ever played, period. And I didn't play it because I saw other people complaining about it having cards in it, and I figured it must be bad. But when I picked it up for free, and I got through that tutorial and I realized, oh my God, bro. Yeah. It's 264 hours later.
Yeah.
And I just beat the game. Just beat it. So yeah, get outside of your comfort zone. Stop just reflexively saying no. There's so many more game experiences out there. If you would just take the 15 minutes it takes to go through the tutorial, the game will teach you how to play it. Are you willing to learn?
Yeah. I know a lot of gamers, great point. A lot of gamers have reached a point, oddly, I know a lot of gamers who have reached a point where like they don't even they want to win, but like their biggest fear is losing. Like they don't want to, they play things to not lose. And that carries over into their decisions in the games they want, right? Like in play, like they see something and if they don't immediately grasp it, they're like, no, it's bad. It's not for me. It can't be fun, right? If they like competitive things, then yeah, you might like this other competitive thing. Just because it's not the competitive thing that you're, saying you usually play doesn't mean you don't like it. Figure out what you like, lock in, and play some more games.
Yeah.
Don't believe the hype. Don't follow the hype is a very huge thing that I really like. I think is really, really important.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's great.
Poo 4 says, I love not knowing how to do something. I like figuring things out. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if everyone's like that. But I appreciate when you are. People need to learn the difference between it's bad and it's not for me. I do wish that was a thing. Right?
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Content creators have a huge issue. Right? And people in general have a huge issue with saying it's trash, it's bad, and stuff like, oh, I don't really like it. But a part of that is because they don't know what they didn't like about it. They just didn't like it and just feel like if I didn't like it, then it should not be liked. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a thing that can't be liked.
You can't like it either.
Right. You know what I mean? And that's always odd. But what's not odd is you guys following us here on YouTube and Twitch. You know what I'm saying? We got more conversation coming. Just want to, make sure y'all know to follow us on YouTube, on Twitch, A Big Close Fist, The Mindful Gamer, Instagram. Follow us everywhere. Because these are great conversations. Just now we went through a few tips for how to become a better gamer. We have number 1, spruce up your gaming. You know what I mean? Do something nice, make it look cute. You know what I'm saying? Make it clean.
Mm-hmm.
Spray some air freshener a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Not even air freshener. Whatever your favorite scent is, figure it out. You know what I'm saying?
Light a
Don't get
candle.
crazy, right?
Get you a gaming candle.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And lock in, dim the lights a little bit. Number two is recognizing the world and lore. Right? We've had talks about not skipping cutscenes and not reading lore and all that fun stuff, but even I, a constant cutscene skipper, can acknowledge that sometimes it's fun to to really get immersed in the world and figure out things. It's not all just game mechanics. Not every game is there to sell you on the game mechanics and action and all that. Sometimes it is the story. That's the whole point of the game, is to experience the story or to tell this story. And sometimes experiencing the world and the lore is important to do that. Find the time. You have some great tips for finding time.
Yeah, look, if you don't have a schedule in your life, number one, your life is going to be chaotic. But number two, like if you don't have a schedule, you don't realize how much time you are wasting. Or, yeah, wasting is the best thing. It's the same thing as like not having a budget in your life for your finances. Like you have to see. And if you want to know how much time you have to game, if you think you don't have any, go check the screen time report on your cell phone and look at that and see how much of that time you have wasted on TikTok, which won't be here just shortly. YouTube, not YouTube, but like TikTok, yeah, YouTube, Instagram, all of those things. See what you're spending your time on, and then just create that space. Like you have to create the space for yourself, have holding the space for people that have kids. And I think that that's really important. And the second thing is, don't try to jump into a multi-hour long RPG when you only have 30 or 40 minutes. Maybe you just need to play a roguelike, something you can jump in and jump out. Maybe you just need to play a few rounds of Call of Duty or a few
Right.
rounds of Marvel Rivals, something where you can go in, have an enjoyable experience, and then drop out when you need to. But you're going to get burnt out if you're trying to play a game that's super long. And every time you get to the part where you're invested in it, you have to quit. Yeah, you would get tired of playing it too. So that would be my suggestion for finding that time.
100%. And with finding that time, try and find time to complete a game or two. Try and complete something, right? And that may mean doing something that you've already started, that you're halfway through, that you haven't finished, or something smaller. There's so many good 10 to 20 to even up to like 40, tons of games at different price points that are shorter, that are bite sized, and that are good, great. Some of the best experiences you will find will be from these like little indie games. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes even
Mm-hmm.
AAA's put out smaller games nowadays. Find these little games that are packed with quality and intention. You know what I'm saying? Love, care, passion, all that fun stuff. Complete that shit. You're gonna feel great. Finish like a Ori or a Hollow Knight, or finish one of those little small games. You're gonna have so much fun. Or even an Astrobot, especially if you can get it on
Mm-hmm.
sale. I say get Astrobot
Mm-hmm.
on sale. But complete a game. Complete a game. And don't get caught in the hype. What's the last game that you think you've gotten caught in the hype for?
Oh, what was the last game I got caught in the hype for and said I would never ever buy again?
Mm,
Oh, I feel like it's there. I feel like it's there. Like, I can look at my Steam really quick.
yeah.
I got it
Yeah.
right here. I
We
feel
all
like
get
it's
caught in the
there.
hype. We all get caught
I
in the
feel
hype.
like it's there. Let's see.
I feel like I almost got caught in the hype for Space Marine 2.
Really?
I played that shit. People kept saying it was like the better than Helldivers, going to beat Helldivers. It's going to be, the next big thing. I played it. It was cool, but I stopped playing it. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing that kept me going for too long
Yeah.
at all.
I'm looking through my list. I guess it's been a minute. I mean, this is not. I mean, you know what? I'm embarrassed to say it, bro.
Talk to me. Talk to me.
Dustborn. That was the last game I bought that I got caught.
Ah,
And it was more of I
what
want to
is the
show
hype
these.
that you could have possibly got
I'm
caught on?
telling you, there's no way this game is that bad. Y'all are just tripping and you're upset about it. And let
Yeah,
me show
yeah.
you how good this game actually is. Oh my. Ah!
Mm,
Ooh.
yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
was Dustborn. Dustborn was the last game I played that I got caught. And it was just like I wanted to show them that they were wrong. And they were right, but for the wrong reasons, right? Like that's what it was. They were absolutely right for the wrong reason. For the exact wrong reason. For
Yeah,
sure. For the
yeah,
exact wrong reason.
yeah. That makes perfect sense. And that's going to actually lead me into another one. We also had Be Mindful, which if you want to hear more about that, check out the Mindful Gamers page. There's tons of that. Step out of your comfort zone. Being mindful will help you be able to do that. So you can step into
Yep.
something that's a little more comfortable, but not what you're used to. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Understanding what you like and dislike. I'm also going to throw in there, turn the TV off. You know what I'm saying? Turn off the internet, turn off the social media.
Put on that
Okay.
do not disturb.
Put on that do not disturb, you know what I'm saying? And find you a safe space to play the game, okay? When you do play the said game, cut off outside activity. I mean everything, okay? I mean, don't look up reviews. Don't look up guides. Um, for a while, like if that's what you need to do to play a game, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? If your first instinct is to look up a guide for a game, and you try to not do that. All right. I think that we've reached a point too now in games where a lot of people will watch a walkthrough of a game before they even play the game, and the standard for what a spoiler is way out of whack. You know what I'm saying? Like the introduction of a character, even in my eyes, the introduction of certain mechanics in a game
Yeah.
is spoiler territory. And we've kind of lost sight of all of that. But like sometimes getting that new power is supposed to be a cool moment for you. But if you know it's
Yeah.
coming, now it's just a drag until you get it.
Yep.
So I think looking up the builds, looking up the different loot, the different armor, looking at all that different stuff can spoil the game a little bit from you. Looking at
Yep.
the discourse involving the game, I know we get a game, we like it, we search it on TikTok or on Twitter, and now that's all we see, and now we're engaged. And they can twist narratives a little bit. Going back to how we used to play games when we were younger, we did maybe have a little guide that was mostly neutral, that would just tell us, certain things when we needed it, when we were really, really, really stuck. And we didn't look at all this other stuff. We just played the game. There's so many games now that even I've went back to that were bad. They were not great games. Like they were broken. Some of the mechanics didn't really make sense. The dialogue was a little off. But playing that shit, it was great. I had a blast, right? Because there was no one in my ear telling me it wasn't the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I played Fighting Force on PlayStation 1, you know what I'm saying? Going crazy. I put so many time and hours to that game. When I think back at it, you know what I'm saying? When I tried to revisit it a little bit on some like messing around shit, it wasn't that great, right? And I look up other things. There's other people saying that this shit is terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like there's other people saying like, oh, it's not good. And now it starts to kind of warp out your memories or your feeling of the game. Lock all that out. Just
Yep.
get the game, play the game. It looks cool. Don't look up anything. Just play the shit. That's a great idea for people in 2025.
And remember, if you do get to a point where like know your own comfort levels, because then the opposite can be true too. Sometimes you need to go ask for help. That's what I did in Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
I needed help. I was lost and I just wasn't figuring it out. And I felt like I should know. And like that caused me to stop playing the game for like 3 months. I picked it back up last night on stream and I played it and I had a wonderful experience. It was one of the best. It was one of the best experiences I have had. I felt instantly drawn back into the world. I cared about the characters again. I couldn't wait to see what was going to happen next. So on that, ask for help, lower the difficulty sometimes. Nobody's watching you. It's your enjoyment. This should be for you to enjoy. Lower the difficulty sometimes so that you can be told the story of the game you're playing.
Now, both of us have built some communities here on from TikTok that has branched out to YouTube, Twitch, and Discord and all that fun stuff. We both have some fairly open communities for the people out there who can't find people to play games with. That's one of the biggest complaints I found. You can't find people to play games with. In going into 2025, even if you hop into Discords to listen to other people playing games, like I don't know why, but like that's a good feeling. I realized that like I used to have a couple of friends who would just hop into our party chat, mute the entire 2-3 hours that they were in there. Like maybe unmute for a thing or two, but like just mute and just listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's comfortable. You know what I'm saying? We're laughing. It's human interaction. There's chatter. He's not even playing the same game we're playing, right? It's just like being in the party chat, being in the party line. I know I'm too old for y'all to even know what that is, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like a party line on the phone. or you know what I'm saying, just being around other people, playing a game at a freaking Starbucks in his head. You know what I'm saying? Like just being around other people. Join one of those communities. If you have a game that you're playing, Destiny community or something like that, I know it's intimidating,
Yeah.
it's
Oh
weird, but go
man.
ahead
It's
and
so
join
great when you
something.
do.
You know what I mean? Like
It's so great.
it
It's so
really,
great.
really is. Like no one's tripping. We're gamers we're talking about. Go in there. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not worried about nothing. Sometimes it can be intimidating, and that's why you join communities like the 8 Bit Close Fist and the Mindful Gamers and Church of New Game Plus. Um, but in the case, just find a community,
Yeah.
100%.
Because those people care about that game, man. Like the Destiny community, the Warframe community is really good. I
Yeah,
found that the Tekken 8 community is like surprisingly not as toxic as I thought it would be. I think it has something to do with voice chat not being available in multiplayer games.
it's
But
not.
I saw, yeah, it's not. Yeah, I saw someone on YouTube leave a negative comment under this girl's video, and then she reacted to it, and so I went back to look at the guy's channel to see what happened, and there were people from the Tekken community saying, "Hey, look, man, you'll get a lot better, a lot faster if you stop being so negative. We all have a lot to learn. GG's, good luck." And I was like, if this were Mortal Kombat, bro, we would be on the third like talk about your mama and stuff. So like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not all toxic. Don't let social media fool you. Most people are just normal, regular
yeah,
people who just want to enjoy themselves. So in
yeah.
those communities, it really is just about the game. And there's a game I play called Phantom Dust that I know a lot of people don't know anything about, but
Oh, cool.
even that game has a very and small and niche community that cares about it. So that's really what it's about. It's just finding your way into those communities, and don't be afraid. Like don't be
Yeah,
afraid. Like go in, jump
especially
in, and
those
you'll be
niches,
excited.
man. Like
Yeah.
niche, like little games, they be the best.
Yeah.
They
And the
will keep you playing
directors
against
and the
bears.
developers are there. They're right there talking to you. That yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, yeah. Find that 100%. It'll really change everything. Like for a random game that you think no one is playing, like find a community for it. Like those people really care about the game, and they're not there for us. They're giving proper feedback. They're giving.
Yeah.
They want the game to succeed, right? And it's hard to see that nowadays because online people are doing the exact opposite because it gets more clicks. But that's a whole nother story. Um, but yes, join a community. That's a great idea. Find some friends to play games with. Put your head down and just play the game. Try and stay away from some of the internet discourse. Try and stay away from like too many things, comment reviews and comments on videos, because like it starts to taint your reality of the game and your experience. Starts to mess it up a little bit. Stay away from spoilers. Step outside of your comfort zone. Be mindful, and a bunch of other things we talked about during this video. Now, kept bringing up Tekken. And I just want to know because this feels like what fighting games did you play before you played Tekken?
Mortal Kombat. Mortal
Okay,
Kombat and Soul Calibur were the ones I really took seriously. Mortal Kombat and Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur closer to right, but
Yeah,
Mortal Kombat damn near opposites.
complete opposite. Completely different experience. I, I feel so played because when I loaded up Tekken 8 and I first went through the Tekken the arcade first, just Ed Boon doesn't care about
Yeah,
the people that play Mortal Kombat.
damn.
NetherRealm Studios, they don't care about you. And like, I'm not trying to be mean or rude. NetherRealm Studios cares about keeping the top players happy in that game, the Sonic Foxes, the Ninja Killers, the Honeybees. They care about that. And then what they care about is the group of people that follow those people, making
Mm-hmm.
sure that they are happy. But when I compared what Tekken 8 had compared to what Mortal Kombat had, I felt disgusted. There's an arcade mode that teaches you the basics of the game while you're trying to go to the Tekken World Tournament within the game. It's
Mm-hmm.
amazing. The AI battle system where you create
Game
a
changer.
ghost that follows you, and every time you play a game, your ghost learns something, and you can go in there and you can see, man, I use that move a
Yeah.
lot. I do this a lot. I tend to back up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like the punishment system where like in the practice mode you can watch a match you've played against someone and the game will pause it and show you
Yeah.
this is what you should have done. There's just so much there that like if you don't get good at Tekken it's because you don't want to. That game, when we talk about it's 50% this, 50% that,
Mhm.
that game is given damn near 60%, 60, 75%. It's just, do you want to pay attention to it?
Yeah.
The damn character customization. I've spent hours just in the character customization, making someone who like felt I have an idea for a Mass Effect theme Zafina that I want to make. Like, it's just, the game is just so good. And I remember playing, we actually have it, my first match in this game, and I was just blown away. Like, I know that I don't know a lot yet, and I'm getting there, but it's just such a good game, bro. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah. No, this was I let him
Yeah.
come back.
Yeah. No. And, and honestly, you brought up that AI, but it's literally it's one of the best additions to
Yeah.
any fighting game I've ever seen. It's game changing.
Yeah. Yeah,
And you whooping some ass,
it's
so shout out to you.
I'm super excited about the future of AI and fighting games. I think that's going to be, it's going to be amazing. It really is. AI is going to change the way that fighting games are played, especially if they continue to refine it and do it in the way that Tekken did. I think after this match, I think there is a video of me actually fighting against my AI, but it's so great because it truly does, like it, like I don't know how they did it, but normally when you play against the AI in fighting games, you can just kind of take a step back and just punish them all the time.
Yep.
But
Yep.
like, it has
Literally.
lifelike movements. Like, it feels like you're playing against an actual person that is like making decisions and stuff. So
You can
I'm
replay a
super
battle
excited.
that you lost to figure out their
Yeah,
places and stuff. Like it's a
yeah,
lot of data that they're doing. I think it's
yeah,
great.
yeah,
Um, Now, make sure you guys tap in for the show. You know what I'm saying? This is the part where we're a little post show right now. Okay, we gave you some tips. Right, we can dive deeper in our separate channels if you really like some of the message that we're saying. Make sure you follow the Mindful Gamer. Make sure you follow 8-Bit Closed Fist. We have a lot of cool content coming. Um, you was whooping some ass in Tekken. We will at some point. We're gonna figure out how we can set it up so we can play just from this screen
yeah,
and like shit pop up right here. That'd be fire.
yeah. I think we can get it. I
Yeah,
already got ideas. We can
you know
get
what
it.
I'm saying. Um, but yeah, 100%. We need to get some more Tekken. That's the more fighting games is the more of the story in
Yeah.
2025. Pick up a fighting game and get better. I'm gonna
Yeah,
retire
that's
the video
really
game.
one way. Yeah, that's no, for real though. Like, I think if you could find one game in each genre that you enjoy and commit yourself to it, I think you'd be happy. I think fighting games are really, really good for just growing yourself as a person, in general. Like the things that you learn from fighting games. I would find one, even Dark Souls. Like, people think that like if you want to play a Souls like games, you got to play Elden Ring. There was a wonderful game, The Surge 2, that came
Oh
out
yeah,
that was like, that game
for
was
sure.
peak. It was so good.
Another
If you
Crab
like
Treasure, I
anime,
think, is also really good too.
which
Crab's
one?
Treasure is
Another
good.
Crab's Treasure. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was a lot of fun. The music in it was really cool and stuff. So yeah, there's so many different ways to be a better gamer in 2025. Yeah.
1000%. Making that make me watching that make me want to play Tekken. Um, so there's a lot of ways to get better in 2025 to be a better gamer to enjoy gaming. Um, One of those definitely include following us on our separate pages, etc. But Mindful Gamer, do you have anything that you want to say to send them off? We're gonna get ready to close
Yeah,
out
close it
here.
out. Yeah, no, just the world is in a ridiculous spot. It really is. And I hope it gets better. I know that things tend to get a little worse before they get better, but I'm just simply saying, I even heard news that in China there's another virus out now, man. And like, so you might want to get comfortable with your games. Find some community within game. Go and get in the metaverse. Check out Fortnite. It's really great.
Okay.
Having a wonderful time in it. But video games should be a place where you get to relax, where you get to come back from all the stress of your day and just sit down and maybe just not worry about it directly for a little bit. So give your game some reverence, sit down with them, give them the attention that they deserve. Give yourself that opportunity to release some of that stress. Go through these things that we've listed and really consider how to be a better gamer and end up becoming a better person. You'll be more well rounded, you'll be more rested, you'll have wonderful stories to tell, you can find community. But video games are awesome. We are in the golden age of gaming because it's the only hobby that you can get into. If you can see this video, you have something to play a video game on. It's one of the only hobbies that is just there is no barrier to entry other than, especially if you have a cell phone, other than, do you know where the games are? Because a lot of them are free. So, yeah, I'm looking
I
forward to
know.
being a good gamer in 2025.
2025, man, big year, big year. I'm gonna double down on that too. I know y'all was talking. Some people were a little upset about that. This is an Xbox, but I think that's a great thing.
I think it's a wonderful thing.
You can pull out your roll over, pull out your phone, and tap in on a couple of games, right? And for a couple few minutes instead of doom scrolling, etc. You can hop into a little game to start your day. That's spectacular, right? Like you ain't even got to get out of the bed. Um, and with that being said, I think I really want people to take away the fact that as you increase your enjoyment for gaming, really do genuinely think that you will be becoming a better person. If you can find a way to cut through the bullshit, to schedule your time, to be more mindful while you're playing games, to receive that sense of accomplishment from getting better and accomplishing something, from learning the skills to get better, right? And self reflection, all of that stuff with being a gamer ties one in one with being a better person. I really do believe that. So tap in. You know what I'm saying? Do what you got to do to become all that fun stuff. Everybody, thank you for coming through. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Stinker Poo. Shout out to Derek the Mindful Gamer, of course. Shout out to me, A Big Close Fish. Shout out to Dreadwood Gaming. Shout out to everyone who was in here yapping it up, AC Gaming, anyone who came through from either one of our Discords who wants to come through and chat it up. I appreciate you all wholeheartedly. I want y'all to have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your week and rest of your year type shit. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy.